Okay. Well, thanks to everyone for joining us today to start off our first webinar of the new year, introducing our newest service offering, 123Net Unified Communications. And my name is Heather Tokman. If you aren't familiar with us, Bob Adams and myself are the channel managers here at 123Net. And Adam Baines is our designated channel sales engineer. If you haven't worked with Adam yet, he is an excellent resource. And Adam will be walking us through the unified communications platform and feature set today. If you have any questions, as usual, please put them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer them at the end following the webinar. If you are interested in demoing the platform, we aren't going to dive in and demo it today. But if you do want to set up an individual demo one-on-one with Adam, myself, or Bob, we're happy to schedule that after and get you a little bit more deeper dive into like the guts of the platform itself. But okay, let's get started. So I'm sure you've heard this quite a few times if you've worked with 123Net before. Our mission statement, which it is the same, it is building a network to make Michigan communities and businesses the best connected on the planet. So how are we doing that today? We're doing that through our voice network and how we're connecting voice customers in a better way than ever. And as many of you know, 123Net has always been in the voice business. And many partners on this call have assisted us in phasing out old technology like our POTS lines, T1s, TDM, PRIs, for future-proof scalable solutions like dynamic PRIs and 123Net's existing hosted PBX. And while these products are still available, 123Net UCaaS is our newest product offering that stacks up with our competitors in the marketplace with the most cutting edge voice features and applications in one cohesive platform. Lots of these features have been requested and we heard you and we're ready to deliver. So what is unified communications? I know many of you have been selling UCaaS for years, you're familiar, but I guess it doesn't hurt to review the definition of it. So unified communications refers to the integration of various communication tools and channels within a single platform or system. The goal of unified communications is to streamline, enhance communication and collaboration processes in an organization, making it easier for individuals to connect and share information across different platforms. The feature set that we're going to look at is really robust, and Adam will get to that in just a little bit. But first, let's review some existing stats about UCaaS. So 15% increase of market growth between 2021 expected to go to 2026, if not longer. 20% of Microsoft application revenues rose in 2023, and you'll see some integrations between UCaaS and Microsoft Teams, which everyone's very familiar with. 35% of instant messaging and unified messaging took over the market share. 75% of businesses will use UCaaS by 2030, and 97% of organizations say that remote work has increased unified communications. All right, so Adam, do you want to dive into some of the new features that will be displayed today?
Sure, thank you, Heather. So from a high level view, as Heather already kind of recapped what unified communications is, our platform is going to be all under a single roof. So a single platform. It has internal chat, SMS, and MMS messaging. We have the ability to integrate with Microsoft Teams, and obviously there's mobility included with this. So why is our 123Net Unified Communications different? We still get our same local support, 365, 24/7 team that is answering the phone calls for you guys. Reliable deployments. So as you know, I have rolled out hosted for a while. We have a dedicated project manager and dedicated voice engineer that is going to work with your customer before the deployment and during the deployment, including training. Once they go actually commit and the rollout happens, we will have either virtual or in-person training to make sure that the customer is comfortable using this new equipment. And of course, it's backed by an SLA. So getting a little bit into the bones of it. we have a web application. So in this web application, you have the quote unquote single pane of glass where you can see your phone calls, your messages, your chats internally. So this allows you to see everything all at once. It's easy for your customer to manage all this, and it's a very, 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 very friendly user interface to manage all of these interactions between your internal chats as well as external customer interactions. So a big highlight of this rollout, and is a feature that a lot of people wanted from our hosted product that we didn't offer, is chat and SMS, including MMS. So in these example slides and these pictures below, we have a picture of some of the historical on the right slide, where we can see historical chats with internal. So that means you're talking to your colleagues, but as well as you can do external chats. So if you wanted to text someone, externally, a customer or something along those lines, you can do that all right from the single pane of this application. And that includes, pictures, video, emojis. It's completely integrated, just like you're texting from a cell phone, but you're doing this from this 123net web app. Mobile app. So we are using the 123net soft phone. If you've ever used our hosted product, it is pretty much identical to that product today. So you can make phone calls through this app, jump between Wi-Fi and cellular on the go, visual voicemail, pull up your contacts. All that is through that app as well. Call center. So call center is included with this as well. So very, very easy to use. And this is a very big highlight of unified communications. It's all under this one pane. It's extremely easy to see call stats through here historically, or in certain time ranges. You want to see how fast a call was answered. We have the stats for that. You want to see how long it took for a customer's call to be picked up. Very simple in this platform. And you can see pull up tons of different charts and graphs for the historical data, depending on what your customer is looking for in this particular instance. But extremely powerful to be able to see all this through a single pane and not have to jump through hoops to try to figure out some sort of historical data. So a lot of questions that always come from this is, well, why is it, how does it actually stack up against our hosted? So again, we still have the same support team that if you call in and need help with, same local support, 24/7, 365. Both platforms can do multi-site, so we could call between locations if you need that. There is mobile and desktop apps for both products, but that's kind of where these similarities stop. So unified, you can do texting and chat and MMS. There's video conferencing in the unified platform. Lots of CRM integration options. You can also set up a Teams integration as an option. And additionally, there is a single sign-on option. So if you already have an organization that uses single sign-on, they use a single email address or username and password for everything, there is options to include the unified communications in that as well. That way they don't have to juggle 100 passwords and usernames like I get to deal with every day. So next on here is what's supported. So we're rolling out this initially with Yealink phones. So included here is some of the models that we are launching this platform with. These are all brand new models, and there's a couple conference phones, and obviously there's some desktop phones as well and some handsets. Pricing. This is where I'm going to hand it off to Bob. If you could go over those details, Bob.
All right, thanks, Adam. Just a reminder, if anyone has questions as we're going through this presentation, please use the chat feature and feel free to type any questions you have. We'll work on getting answers, before the end of the webinar. So let's talk numbers. So we've got two packages on the UCAS program. We've got the standard package and the premium. Our standard package starts at $18 and our premium package costs $27. The difference really between these two packages come down to three features, as you can see here in the slide. Live analytics, Microsoft Teams integration, and video integration. If your customer requires any of those three options, we would need to use the premium package, package. But otherwise, all other features are included under our standard UCAS plan. There is a monthly charge added to the seat cost, and it would be determined by which model of phone they choose. The basic phone starts out at $450 a month. We can get a breakdown of that really specific to what the customer's needs are. Next slide, let's talk about spiffs. Our UCAS and our hosted PBX spiff is going to mirror each other. For smaller opportunities up to 19 seats, we're going to pay 2x on a 3-year and 3x on a 5-year. That mid-size opportunity for up to 49 seats, we're going to pay a 3x on a 3-year and a 5x on the 5-year. And then for the larger size opportunity, 50 seats or more, we'll pay 4x and 6x, just depending on the term. So pretty good spiffs. That concludes the training portion of it. What we'd like to do at this time is open it up for any questions that you have. I've got a couple that come to mind. Adam, I'm wondering, when should we sell UCAS and when should we sell PBX?
That's a great question. I think, you have to ask your customer a couple questions. Is what's really important to them for the feature set? If they're already on board with a platform that is going to be, quote unquote, cloud-based, then you got to determine which platform makes more sense. The unified makes a lot more sense with its feature set. If a customer really wants that texting ability, they want that video conferencing built in, and possibly that Teams integration. Those are really the highlights of that platform that really make it shine compared to the hosted platform. So that would be my recommendation is splitting it right there based on the feature set.
Okay, thank you. How about what platform is this hosted running on?
Yes, so the backend is all NetSapiens in the background. I'm sure you guys have most of these people on this call are somewhat familiar with NetSapiens. So yeah, all the calls are going through that NetSapiens platform.
Okay. If there are any other questions, please feel free to type them into the chat. One other question, Adam, I'm thinking of, can the customer bring their own phone?
As of this launch, that is not the case. We are just launching it with those the Yealing phones that I had on the other slide.
Okay. Okay, guys, that's all the questions that I had. If there are any others, please utilize the chat function. We'll give it a few more minutes for people to chime in.
I see Bill's got one. We're not using Metaswitch, but yes, hopefully the NetSapiens answered your question.
I got one question through a text message. So someone asked, do we have marketing materials and like a battle card that stacks up against other competition UCAS providers in the marketplace? And yes, we do. We can send that out. Like I mentioned earlier as well, it may be more helpful to do a demo one-on-one and deep dive through the platform itself to see the feature set, take a look at the SMS and integration. So if you do have 15-20 minutes, Adam and I would love to walk you through that, and Bob as well.
All right, Adam, here's another one. How are you working with cell phones? Can they be set up as a DID on the system? And are you doing direct routing with Teams?
So I guess those are two questions. So yeah, so the system is still controlling the DIDs. So for example, if a customer has a local number and they want to be able to use their cell phone, it's going to work just like our hosted platform in that it's going to ring through the application and ring into the application on their cell phone. You could do a similar find me, follow me, where your cell phone, your desk phone rings first, and after a certain amount of time, it'll ring your cell phone. hopefully that answers your question there. And are you doing direct routing with Teams? There's integration with Teams. It's not necessarily direct routing. So for example, you have a phone number. And if you're integrated with Teams, someone calls you on your number, and it'll pop up just on Teams, just like somebody's calling you locally in Teams. That it's an internal call, but it's really an external call coming in. So it works pretty flawlessly like that in terms of phone call interaction. You can make phone calls from Teams if you do integrate with that platform with Teams.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you for the questions, guys. Keep them coming in. Another question, can we ring all phones at once in a retail environment?
Absolutely. Yeah, this platform can do everything and more that the hosted platform has. So if you want a simple setup where it just has a phone number that rings, 4 or 5 phones at the same time, absolutely, we can make that happen. And additionally, it can do far more complex setups where it does a round robin, where it will, ring the next available agent or something along those lines, but it's very customizable.
Okay. Good questions. Are there any others? Please feel free to type them in the chat. Heather was joking. Bob's not going to sing a song. Thanks, Heather.
I don't know,
Yes.
maybe someday we'll have to get a nice partner karaoke going for our next event.
Adam, is there a cost for a DID that is not a seat?
That works just like our hosted platform. So the customer can have 200 numbers and only 5 seats. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no cost for that.
So a seat really is, a seat is classified then as a user or a voicemail box on the system?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Let us know if that doesn't answer your question. Will the Lions beat San Fran? Here you go, Adam.
Well, I would really hope so. I think the answer is yes. The way they've been going, I think they will. Great question, Chris.
I like it. Any other questions? I know there are a lot of UCAS experts out there, so if we're missing something, please type in and we'd love to answer it for you. Is there an integrated basic CRM or only connectors?
I believe they're all only connectors as of today. If you have some examples, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to verify what works and what doesn't. There's a lot of it's a very powerful platform, and I working and training with the NetSapiens team, you learn like the limits of the platform, but they're always willing to explore the limitations as well. So if you have an example of something you'd like to see, I would be happy to talk with that team and find out if it's compatible, if I don't know already.
Great questions. Any others? Please feel free to put them in the chat. While we're waiting, Adam, what will the score be Sunday?
Oh, Bob's asking me the hardest question of the day. Let's call it 1730. Lions, of course.
Well, not even close. I like it. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions. If there are no other questions, we'll hang on for a few minutes, but I want to thank everyone for their time and taking time out of their day to join today. Looking forward to quoting and selling some UCAS with you guys. So let us know how we can help. If there is interest, for a webinar one-on-one and you want to get a little bit more familiar with it one-on-one and see the internal systems, just reach out to to Heather or I, and we can arrange that demo with Adam and team. And the goal would be to get you as familiar with it and as comfortable selling it as possible. And I am not seeing any other chat. So if there are no other questions, everyone have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later.
Yep. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.